Hello guys, my name is Hansel Relosimon and this is my Film 80 project. Alright, let's get started. So, introducing me. I was born on January 17, 1998 at Seton Medical Center, Daly City, San Francisco. I am also the youngest of my brothers and cousins. Some stuff that I like to do. I like spending time with computers. I like plants, fishing, cooking, and video games. So, at one point, I lived in a house with 13 people. I was introduced to Filipino cultures in many ways through stuff like Filipino game shows, Filipino dramas, original Filipino music, Filipino food, and of course, the Filipino language itself. I didn't actually learn how to speak Tagalog, but instead I understood small bits and pieces of it from listening to my family members' conversations and watching Filipino shows. As a second generation Filipino American, I still have a strong sense of identity within Filipino culture, while still embracing American culture. I understand my family's culture and I use that every day to help me shape my attitude and perception towards life. Growing up, one of my favorite things to do to pass time was to watch TV. An article by Stephen Anette, How Does TV Influence Your Life? Cartoons have been found to influence the behavior of children aged 6 to 12 more than school, as they can spend 38 hours weekly watching TV, while less than 30 hours in the classroom. I found this really interesting. A part of a child's personality comes from what kind of media they are exposed to at a young age. This could be from TV shows, movies, video games, and even social media. Some TV shows that I watched when I was a kid were Ed, Ed, and Eddie. It taught me how to be creative. Teen Titans taught me how to be driven and independent. And SpongeBob, he taught me how to be fun, or how to have fun with anything I do and be happy. Back in the 6th grade, I remember getting my first phone. It was a sliding phone, and it made it very easy to text. My first game device was a Game Boy SP, and my first game station was the PlayStation 2. I remember spending hours with my older brother and cousins, playing whatever games we can find. When thinking about games, I noticed that they all have something in common, like specific objectives that you have to work towards. The main purpose was to complete the objective and win. This could be done through problem solving, taking in information, and thinking effectively in high pressure situations. As a computer science major, I'm also becoming interested in what goes behind the scenes of these games and technology. Over time, I went from playing these games to wanting to understand what what it takes to make the games, like story or software development or hardware it took to play the games. Target was my first job where I had to restock supplies, produce, furniture, basically anything you can think of on the walls of Target. To me, back in high school, my first job, it was like a stepping stone to becoming an adult. I was put in uncomfortable situations, I had responsibilities, and I needed to manage my time with school and work. My second job was at Skyline College. I worked at a coffee shop, a bookstore, and a print shop. It's like a 3-in-1 job. I learned how to deal with customers, multitask, and work in a team. Through this job, I observed different types of people. I learned how to interact with staff members, students, teachers, and built an understanding of what to do and what not to do in a professional setting. Lastly, I worked at a rehabilitation center where I led activities, assisted patients, and provided entertainment and care. I created a bond with the long-term and short-term patients where I got to understand their backgrounds and beliefs. Some of them were frustrated due to illness. Some didn't get what they wanted. Others wanted to be left alone, and some even wanted more attention that I could give them. I learned at first I did not know how to deal with all this pressure, but slowly but surely I began to understand how working with these residents and how to become more empathetic towards their feelings and needs. It led me to realize the importance of understanding what other people are dealing with and finding solutions to their problems by putting myself in their shoes. Back in high school, I didn't really have the best of grades. I didn't feel very inspired by my teachers and counselors, and sometimes it felt like you need good grades to get to the top schools or to get further along in your education. This led me to consider trying to join the U.S. Air Force. This is because my dad, this was his job before he got his current job. I thought it was my only option because my grades weren't there and I really didn't have any other career that I was going to work towards. I remember watching the presentations of the Air Force presenters, and they sold the job to me, or what it felt like. I ended up going to Skyline College due to a quick last minute decision right after high school. Also, my brothers went to Skyline College. I remember seeing the emails, the regular mail, and seeing catalogs about the school and commercials, like all that stuff. When I was there, I joined a program called PCN. I was there for 2.5 years in this program. PCN is also known as Filipino Cultural Night, which is a production that showcases Filipino culture through dance, acting, and singing. I participated in this production as part of the club as a treasurer and the president. It gave me a sense of leadership, planning, organizing events, taking charge with how to organize and run the club. This led me to juggle many different tasks while balancing classes. Throughout my years of PCN, it provided a way for Filipino American students to have a sense of pride, belonging, and community within Skyline College. It has helped me become more independent, outspoken, and a confident leader, which will help me in later careers. Lastly, I chose to go to Santa Cruz to further my education in hopes of finding a good job with a bachelor's degree. I went to Santa Cruz because it was close to home, and I realized I chose computer science because growing up, as you can tell, I was surrounded by technology. I became interested in how computers worked and what it took to build one. As you can see, I have a strong interest in computers and technology in general. I became curious about how technology worked and how it can make a positive impact in today's world. My first step to further myself in the world of computers was to make my own personal computer. I chose to build in a way to be aesthetically pleasing to the eye while also being efficient and practical in terms of cooling and gaming. I spent hours researching parts, browsing online forums, watching tutorials on YouTube, anything I could think of. Building a computer helped me gain knowledge about different pieces and their function, which made it interesting to understand how computers work. It is a skill that can benefit with other technologies such as cars, household appliances, and accessories like phones and iPads. Many times I encountered errors from missing pieces, incorrect wire connections, or maybe even malfunctioning hardware or software. Sometimes I felt like giving up, but when I got it right, it felt amazing. Eventually, the build was complete, and I felt a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction because of all the problems I encountered. I realized that this was my first glimpse into what it was like to dive in the ocean of what is the world of technology. And here's a picture of my computer right now. Lastly, some hobbies I enjoy doing are like the working with plants. Getting a plant and seeing how it grows, it felt like such an achievement to me. It made me more involved in the plant community by watching videos, seeing different people's plants online, and maybe even visiting plant shops. Playing basketball is one of the hobbies I have also. I played basketball ever since I was a little kid, and I think it's a great activity to meet and communicate with other people, make decisions in real time, and learn teamwork. Next, I like cooking food. I like cooking because it's an easy way to bring people together. I also like experimenting with new types of food that I usually don't eat at home. And because of this, I know that there are many different types of food, and I want to try them all. Food is like a universal language across all cultures and languages around the world. Everyone likes food. Fishing taught me how to be more in touch with myself and surroundings. While waiting at the beach or the pier, you need to be aware and in the moment with what you're doing. Sometimes on the beach, I like spending my time appreciating nature and basically being away from my phone. I feel like any day at the beach is a good day, despite despite not catching anything. And here's a fish that I caught uh, at a pier, Pacifica Pier, and that's it. All right, guys, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.